A delay on this too. I'm hoping there's not an automatic delay on this one too. Thing is Sloth was supposed to be looking at this, and I can't get him into the chat. I've got a boost going. I apologize, guys. Yo.
Hey, yeah, it never sent me the invite.
I just had to send another one. Because I joined the party right off the bat. But, are you looking at the live stream?
Yeah. What I just saw was you picking up a chest, or not a chest, but
Present.
yeah.
Alright, so I pretty much only use the clusters, which I'm completely filled up on right now. I am completely... only thing I've been buying, I got 2 of the mine layers at any given time, because sometimes one isn't enough to blow up a wall. I have 2 healers, just in case a place gets tight and I need to really get in deep. 2 of these guys, literally by accident, but, you know, whatever. I had to spend some gold, and they were expensive. Because I'm completely slam full. 86 thieves, because I'm going to keep working them for the most part. I got some handgunners just in case I get a Cleopatra and nothing else, because you could put 2 of these out there, separate them just enough, and it'll just ping pong a Cleopatra back and forth. So she won't even be able to kill you. Other than that, if there's like a one little gold refinery somewhere, and it's got just enough distance, I will put it down that way the gunner can do it without losing a character at all. Because you see my money up in the top corner, I can hold 7,202,000. I'm holding 7,196,000.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of... I was completely slam full the other day. This is the one of the last times I got attacked. This is the one that I was telling you about. See, he drops the meteor on that. Don't ever do that. If you're gonna buy a meteor, drop it on, like, this one. Like, specifically this one. Because it's the hardest one to get to. Like, the center one, I don't know if you can see that arrow. But, you want to drop it on that one, because that's the one that's gonna hit the most. You see, it's already able to shoot the outside walls. These are gonna be a little bit easier to hit too. And these, cannons are, from what I can tell, the cannons are, like, the absolute worst for your soldiers. Horsemen can get through it pretty easily, but, like, these guys right here are the worst for the horsemen, the shield guys. This is the worst for their, in particular, units. You see, they didn't get nowhere. And my base build is built so that I will lose, because I want to keep a low ranking. And I keep grabbing money, because if you're sitting here idle for too long, it'll kick you out. Okay, let's go fight somebody. Because I don't have a peace flare anymore. Ooh, 350k? I'll do it. I'm not aiming to actually take it all. I'm only aiming to take some of it. And this is the most worth it for whatever unit I'm going to lose. So like this. 5,000, 7,000. Every bullet's just going up into the thousands. And I'm trying to avoid the tents as much as I can because they're the biggest problem. But I'll show you how to deal with the tents too. Because there's two right here, so it's inevitable. Unless this guy's just not playing for some reason. And he hasn't replenished his soldiers. Which it kind of looks like he hasn't replenished his soldiers, so this is going to go unhindered. So this guy might be still on the line. Let's go without some more thieves. That's really their only line of defense, is that one guy on a gun turret in the dead center. And see, I'm like the complete opposite. This guy right here is just trying to protect his main base for the most part and isn't even worried about protecting it at the end of the day. And me, I'm just worried about protecting my money. Or, yeah, my money for the most part. I put the money on the outside, but I put it on the outside and I separate it so that it's not easy to get to like this. No, I wasn't paying attention. Ah, I was supposed to quit before it got to 50%. Because if you see that little red bar over there on the left where it says 47%, that needs to be, you need to quit before that gets to 50. I wasn't paying attention because I was like too busy trying to remember what to say. Alright, let's go again. I went too much. Did not mean for that to go that way. And then it's cheap enough. Like, this is what makes it bad. Like, I just won like 300k, right? That it only cost me what, 500? Nope, 700. It cost me 700. That's why the thieves to me are completely worth it. I didn't think that they would be at first when people were first telling me about them, but see, my rank went up. I didn't want that. I'm still at Pioneer 2. My problem is I cannot seem to go back to Pioneer 3. It doesn't matter how much I lose, it will not drop me back to 3. Let's see, I need somebody weak. 171. I think 171 is the weakest. And there isn't a delay on this. It's like a half a second delay. I only want to lose this anyway, so just throwing the guy out there just to get beat up so I can lower my rank. I want to fight people weaker than me and then just throw out one guy. It only cost 100, which is originally what I bought them for. When I first bought a thief, I only bought them because they were literally the cheapest units. I didn't actually think I would be using them. He's at, oh, there's like 108. 66. Let's go 66. Because at this point, like, if I was actually trying for gold, it would be a different story. But I am so slam full of gold that I'm just one big target myself, and I don't really want to be that, so. Oh, I could show you the Cleopatra trick, though. She's not doing it this time. Normally, you could put one on one side and one on the other side, and she'll keep flipping back and forth. Every time one shoots her, she'll run to the other one. Yep, there's some soldiers coming out. persons are not very active. All their money should be in the actual gold grabbers. Obviously do not want to hit 50. That got some shit up there. And if you're curious at all, hang on, let me do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The guys that sit on rocks normally, this is what they evolve into. Ooh, present right in the center. Those presents too, you need to make sure you're collecting them every chance you get, because they're only going to be here for the holidays. And they give you, like, gold, experience, and the most important is gems. And the reason why gems are important, and the reason why I told you to save them as much as you can, is because you want to buy this. In my case, it's called the Artisan Guild. I don't know what it's called for yours. But I want to get that. I've already bought a third one. And I want to get a fourth one, but to get the fourth one takes 1,000. It's taking me a while to get there.
Yeah.
And this right here, it cost me 6 million to upgrade to go to the industrial age. I keep getting attacked by people from the industrial age already, so I don't understand how, but... And some of the guys that have been attacking me, I think are actually coming from a modern age, but... And, oh yeah, I was showing you this already, but I always upgrade my shooters first. Then I upgrade my Cavalier. In this in particular case, I'm going to upgrade the soldiers right behind the Grenadiers. And then I'll go to Cavaliers. But then I'm going to do my thieves. If I don't go ahead and get the blimps. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to save the blimps. Because I really want to try them out. I can't wait to get aircraft. So what are you playing?
Oh, I'm sitting here playing a little Fallout Shelter.
Fallout. Are you a kid? Children's. Let's go ahead and upgrade that. Alright, I got my 2 upgrades going. Yeah, I don't have a reason to attack anybody else because I don't need the gold. Is there any questions that you had? While I got this up here so I can show you.
Why are you always cheating? No. Why do you have everything sectioned out like that?
Well, I picked the strategy I got right now because I actually want to lose. That's why I put my main headquarters out here. If you see I got like little pillars of wall out here, randomly like this, that's because if you drop a mine layer out here, he's going to run and bomb this instead of running up here and bombing this wall. So they waste a whole bomb layer. That's why I got one on all 4 corners. Or all 4 center sections, so they'll have to do it in the corner. And when they come for the corner, that's where the majority of my heavy weaponry is prepared for them. The money makers, I have them spread out because I see a lot of people where, like, you've seen the people that have attacked already. they will put
Hmm.
all their moneymakers in one section. And they'll surround it
Yeah.
with gun turrets and tents and everything. But once you figure out your way inside and go for the attack, you just have to run. Like, if I drop 80 thieves in there, they will run through all the moneymakers without a problem. So, and
Yeah.
I can do that. I have done that to people. So if you separate them, they drop their thieves out here. They're gonna drop like 2 or 3 thieves here, 2 or 3 thieves here, because just dropping 80 thieves all the way around the map, they get picked off too easily. So it's the best way to save my money. Plus, you're spending all your time trying to get through these things, which is another reason why I keep collecting as much as I can. Because the less money that I have sitting on here, the less money they actually get. All of my money is in my banks, which are behind the walls. So they're going to have to fight through this level of stuff. If they summon in their horsemen will come on up here and attack this. But then once they bust through the walls, they're going to be going straight for, like, guns. They're not going to go after my banks. And the entire time, the tents are attacking them. In the meantime, they're sending the other soldiers in. Well, as they're sending the other soldiers in, my cannoneer are frying their soldiers. So my guns are hidden and protected for the most part. The only gun that I have out and unprotected literally is this one, and that's just because I couldn't fit it in here with the banks and everything. So I ran out of walls. But everything else, like this building, it's just another wall in my eyes. It's not really, it doesn't matter if it gets destroyed. This right here, it doesn't matter if it gets destroyed. These, I don't want them destroyed, but it's better that they get destroyed than these. Because this is where all my money really is. And then these cannons can still fry everybody out here. So ultimately, I look at it as I have 2 walls for the with the only like one set of actual walls. I lose a little bit of money when they take this, but it doesn't take as much. But if they was to be able to run right in and destroy my cannons, because I've seen some where people will put their cannons on the outside, they'll put everything on the inside, and they'll just put all their guns on the outside. But the problem with that is, like, you don't even have to run your cavalier in there. You could just drop a whole bunch of soldiers and blow up everything, and just go. You could attack cheap like that. So,
Yeah.
you protect your guns, especially your cannons. The catapults that turn into the cannons and everything, those are the most valuable defensive thing you have. That might change once we get into the ages where there's flying stuff, because the only things that can hit the flying stuff, from what I can tell, is like the gun turrets and your actual soldiers. Like that's why they put balloon guns in here, is so they can be anti-aircraft. Because the only aircraft you have are the guys on the pillars that turns into these like Gatling guns. So ultimately, and I didn't want to do it either because I've seen some where people will put like take out all the walls from the inside. That way they can put some walls up on the outside. But the problem with that is that they send a bomber in here and he breaks through one wall, and then he sends horsemen in here to destroy these two right here. Well, if I don't have any other walls up here, then they just keep running gun to gun to gun to gun to, and it's over. These walls actually slow them down a lot because they don't bust through walls as good. They can bust up a gun in a heartbeat, but they can't get through the walls that fast. So the longer it takes them to get to the gun, the more the gun mows down. So it's a multi-layer answer. I'm sorry it took so long to answer it, but that's basically my response is it's defense on top of defense to protect what I want to protect, which is the guns and my banks. Everything else is expendable.
Okay.
So tight. And then I also tried to set it up there with stuff like there's more booby traps on the side that has mostly money than there is on the side that doesn't. Like this side over here, there's an extra cannon. Well, I do have 2 booby traps over here in case somebody was like, I want to attack here because I definitely want to get the win. So obviously I want to catch them on the recovery side from that. Plus my bank is like the closest to the wall here. So this side over here only has like 1 booby trap because ultimately it's just one set of soldiers and all my cannons are over here. So nobody's really going to attack on this side. And by the time they do, I have Cleopatra and 1 trapdoor with 1 cantrip. It's not really that big a deal. Over here, I have the bomb. I have the tent. I have another little trap right on the other side of this wall over here. I have these 2 right here are so far away that they're going to be able to bomb blast anybody that comes this way. I also got extra soldiers coming out right here. So this whole side right here is really protected. When it's all said and done with. This is the side I don't want people attacking because it is right on top of my cannons. If they was to blow a hole past my tent and bum rush past the cantrip up straight into this cannon, and then bum rush straight into this cannon, that's half my defense right there. I could actually lose the fight, like hands down at that point, and I don't want that to happen. So I don't really like using the traps for the most part. That's why they're the least powered up out of everything I have. But I have had to learn to start using them. Plus, at this point, the only reason why I haven't gone up another rank right now is because I'm actually going to take my time to go around and upgrade everything like I told you should do.
Yeah.
And I started with my cannons before I even started upgrading my money. Once they were done, I made sure that I got every one of my gun turrets up to the point where they're Gatling guns. I didn't upgrade them to max Gatling guns, but I just got them to the Gatling guns. And then I went about upgrading a bank as I upgraded a gun. So that's why I have a few windmills, but I don't have all of the windmills done, but every one of my other guns is upgraded for the most part. And the cannons don't really seem to do that much to me. Like, they're good against Cavalier, but they really suck against, like, swarms of people.
Yeah, like, right now I know I can build the, what is it, the catapult. I haven't yet because I need to actually open up my, my wall, which I might actually reconstruct my base and do something a little different with it now.
I mean, if you're trying to do a strategy like I'm doing, where the idea is to stay low and just keep hitting weak people, then you can go for something like what I've got going. I know it took me forever to start investing into my walls. But walls are very valuable.
First off, I don't even nearly have the same amount of equipment that you do.
Well, you get more as you upgrade. Actually, it gets a little bit more difficult because if you're looking, you see I get a whole extra gun turret, 3 basically new traps, a whole another catapult gun, a brand new gun, 2 of them, 2 more money makers, another tent, and I only get 10 feet of wall. Like, how am I gonna fit all of that in here with only 10 more feet of wall? That's the problem. They don't give you enough wall for all the buildings you're getting. When you first start out, you got so much wall that you don't even need it all.
Well, see, the strategy I was kind of thinking about was instead of surrounding my walls, actually cut my field in half, put all my buildings on one side, and then build the wall, literally just one shot straight across. Or in some lateral way.
Well, the only drawback to doing something like that, because I did try one time doing a build where I had all my stuff up in the corner. Sorry.
Kind of like how I
and
got
then
it.
did a wall all the way down here, like looping around it with just guns and walls out the butt, right? And then I put all the tents up here just in case. And I'm glad I did because ultimately people was able to spawn up here. Like, no matter how close to this wall you get, they can always, like, as far over as you can build, they can still put a unit there. Like, right here. My wall can't go any further than, like, right here, right? Well, they can always spawn here. They'll always be able to be just outside of your building range. So, you don't want to, like, try to rely on the idea that you could just put one wall up and the backside will be protected. So, because that was actually literally the build I had just before I came to this one, was doing that. So then I was like, okay, well, let me try to move everything down, because this wasn't what my build was before. Originally, I had this thing well protected, my headquarters. I didn't want that to get destroyed, so I was trying to protect it hardcore. And I put the 2 cannons, because I only had, or the 2 catapults. I only had 2 of them at the time, and I had them on either side of this. And the walls were thick around them, the cannons and this. And then I was trying to keep the money makers on the inside and kept the like guns on the outside and everything. And I realized afterwards, whenever I came to a conclusion that I would rather play the game like this, that I realized it's much better to do it like this because I've actually lost like less games like this than I did that way. I've lost a lot less money. I've only had a
Yeah.
handful of people who actually managed to get a good chunk of money from me. And like this was one of the few guys actually right here, if I can get this thing to come up. This scooter guy. And it's because like he has fought me several times already. So he's been trying to build up a strategy of how to get to me. But he's used so many people to come at me with. You see, like, he's literally throwing an entire army at me when this happened. He still can't get 3 stars. He gets pretty far. He can't get 3 stars. See, this is the point to me going away out here. It's because you see how much he's having to spread himself out. Well, that looks bad, because it's like, look at all the stuff he's destroyed. But because he spread himself out so much, I'm picking off his army a lot faster than I really should. This is an entire army. He hasn't even made it through full half base. The drawback is he did manage to get 3 of my banks. But see, he didn't even make it to my second gun turret. He completely missed my headquarters because the side he came in at, which the headquarters was meant to keep them from attacking that side. So it's like you have to choose. Do you want to go for the free win or do you want to go for the money? But because you spread yourself out so far, like, my cannons will pick you off. Which, it doesn't help either that if you bunch them all up, the cannons are going to do it anyways. Like, you got to do it in waves. And this right here, honestly, the way that I have my wall right now, I don't know how anybody could get in here. The only thing I could possibly think of is you'd either have to take my tents and lure them out, or, which actually, I forgot, I was going to show you that. How to, like, ruin a tent. Attack this guy, he's got so much gold. Punish him for that. Oh, God, it's him again. This is just free money, I'm not going to do that. I need to find a tent. That guy hasn't been playing for a while, so he just keeps rebuilding gold, and I just keep attacking him. I need somebody that's probably going to be trying to put up a fight. This guy might do it. Let's see, tents. Just, oh, he put all his tents on the outside, which is a bad call, but... Alright, so basically, let's get Cleopatra active. Yep. When they got the Cavalier, it's kind of, like, sucks a little bit more, but... I want to stir up all of them. Make sure they're not holding back on me. Alright. So we want to throw out just a handful of soldiers, something that's not going to be like a real big loss. And then just simply... And then you could drop 2 more if you need to for him, but like honestly, in this in particular case... Just finishing them off like this. And then you just go on with your attack. Like, you have all the rest of your thieves. Your thieves aren't really going to get mowed down by the gun turrets. They're going to run right through all of that. And if you just ignore them, it's only going to make things worse. So it's best to get rid of them. I'm also using this as an excuse to just spend gold. Less gold I have, the less they can take. Because I don't know if you noticed either, because I told you that you only get to take a percentage of the money that you have in general when you're attacked. So you see I'm at 6 million, but you also seen where this guy, when he attacked me, I was at 7 million when he attacked me. He only got access to 400,000 of it. Because he didn't even completely succeed in taking it all.
Alright.
So it doesn't, like, when it's all said and done with, like, when you're seeing people that are like hundreds of thousands, you're not ripping them off completely. You're taking a small portion of what they have. And so you don't really have to worry about losing too much, which is something that I didn't realize. That's why originally I was protecting the crap out of these moneymaker buildings. But honestly, it doesn't really matter if they attack. You just need to collect as much money as you can when you do. But ultimately, storing up money isn't all that really spectacular. Like, if you're just wanting to come in here, like, first thing in the morning before we leave, sometimes I'll log in if I know that some of my stuff that I'm building should be done in, like, 8 hours or so. I'll come on in here, like, first thing before we leave, jump on, do the update, and then log right back off again. Well, to make sure I have money for that so I don't have to keep attacking every time, then I keep this large stash of gold. The only reason why I'm keeping a large stash at this point isn't because of the building thing, because I could just attack one person like the guy I just showed you. It's a free kill. He only has one gun turret and a really weak, flimsy fence. So I can just run some thieves in there, completely own his base, and be rich again. I literally only have it so people will attack me. Because whenever they attack me, they're only going to take like 100,000, 300,000, 400,000 at most. And they're going to hit this building, more than likely, and destroy it. And then my rank is going to finally drop. And that's what I want. Like, I'm at the bottom of my ranking here. I've asked how I can get it to drop more in the chat, but the only thing anybody ever says is use Cleo. If you lose with Cleo, then your rank will drop. Well, I've thrown Cleo out there many, many times, and she just, like, she isn't dropping my rank. Which, also, I can't upgrade her anymore either. I didn't know that there was, like, a max. I figured she would just keep growing forever. And I kind of thought she would transform into something, like, based off of different ages I went through. But no. It doesn't matter what age I've gone through. I still have her as Cleopatra. And I've upgraded her to 15, I think. Let's see. I know it says it's somewhere 16. So she's at 16, and she's, like, still hasn't transformed or nothing. So. But yeah, no, this is basically my entire battle situation is keep my ranking as low as I can, find weak people but have a lot of money, ultimately, and then try to pick somebody that I know that I can, like, I don't have to win the fight. I actually don't want to win the fight. I just have to make sure I make as much as I spent. Like right here, let's see. No, that ain't a good spot. There's the Cleopatra. Oh, right here. Boom. It's not a whole lot, but already paid for. That gun turret can't reach me, so I'll go ahead and throw him out here too. Oh, the Cleopatra's not active. Which just means more money. More money. If I was more strapped for gold, this is literally where I stop at this point. I just let them do the attacks. I made 61,000. I took a third of what he has. It cost me 300 to do it. I've come in here and I watched the chats blow up with people who are like yelling at each other, calling them cheaters and hackers and like, it's bullcrap. Give me back my trophies. You didn't really earn it. You know, this, that, and everything. Like, they really go off and they get hatred towards each other. And I'm just like, dude, this is so much, like, easier. Because the trophies, they really don't accomplish something. Now, if I came in here and I saw that if I won enough of these, that instead of getting excess gold, I was getting diamonds, then maybe. Then I would probably care a little bit more. But as it is right now, just to know that all I'm really getting is, yeah, 3,000 plus gold for a win. Not really worth it to me. Like, if I'm in the Pioneers, I get a couple of hundred. If I go to warrior, I get like 400. If I go to warlords, 750. Like, it's not really worth it to go through that much trouble, that much aggravation, spending thousands upon thousands on an entire army, when my only goal is to grow and make myself as big as I can. Now, maybe once I've maxed out my base, I've gone to the very last age and I've maxed everything out, then I would like worry about it and start trying to build up my battle system, because there's nothing else to do but grow from there. But as far as like growing from the ground up, I just wish I had realized it before I got to medieval, because it was only after I hit medieval age that I came to a conclusion. It's like, dude, I'm killing myself to try to fight people. And it's like, the game itself, it's kind of annoying, because you go build up an entire army. How long does it take you to build your entire army right now?
I don't know, maybe like 5 minutes or so. If
Well,
that.
let's see, it takes a little bit longer as you get higher up. Basically, it takes like 30 minutes or so for me to build mine. And that really depends on the units I pick. So, let's see. It doesn't look like these tents are active either. Man, none of these tents are active. But, so do that. I'm like, why would I sit here and spend 30 minutes spending like 50k to build up all these units to go fight for like less than 2 minutes and then wait 30 minutes again? And if I failed, I lost that fight and I didn't get anything out of it, then I really just didn't get anything out of it. That's such a big waste of time. I didn't get to build anything because I'm spending all my money on my soldiers. Like, this game gets boring at that point. But right now, I get 3 units out here onto the field. It's taking me a grand total of like 3 minutes to fight my way through this. Not even. Unfortunately, I can't continue robbing. I have to leave. Yeah, I'll get out before I get a win on that one. But it's like, okay, 4 units. Took me 3 minutes, and it's only going to take me like 3 or 4 minutes to get back in here. I can go ahead and jump right into another fight. I don't have to sit here and wait 30 minutes for my soldiers to build. If I could find a way to shortcut my buildings getting built, I would. But I'm a free-to-play. I ain't trying to put cash into the game. So, I mean, there is one thing I would like to get at some point, and that's the $10 one so I can get the pet, because I don't know what it does. And I would love to find out. But, I mean, other than that, I wouldn't spend cash. Because everything can be done at free time. If you're impatient, then fine. Go ahead and spend cash, race your way up to the top, and then for what? Because there's nothing to do once you get there but fight other people. And it's just going to be the same people over and over again. Eventually the game's going to get boring and you're going to stop playing. It's the growth. It's the grind to get to the top that you're actually playing the game for. So I'm not in a big hurry. And the bad thing is, I actually hate the Renaissance era. This whole era that I'm in right now is garbage to me. I hate this one. But I'm growing in it because I know the next era is going to be a lot harder. Like, there's so many different defenses, I don't really know how I could possibly build up enough soldiers to go in there and take them without a problem. I don't even know if the strategy will continue to work by then. But I'm hoping it will.
Think something different.
Huh?
No, you'll probably have to think something different.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. But by then, if it is still working, I know I'm going to be like goofing off and buying a bunch of planes just to run them in and attack people for shits and giggles. Like, not even to actually win, just to attack. Just because I can. But yeah. That's pretty much it. I wanted to like live stream this from the beginning to now, everything, but I don't know how to do a second account. And it's too late. I don't want to just restart the whole game. So this is pretty much, unless I'm requested to like throw more up in here, this might be like the only video. If I like find out this video gets a lot of likes or whatever and comments that says, hey, you know, show us, you know, growing more or show us more or something, then I might come back in here and live stream more of it. But as of right now, I don't really know. I mean, I could at some point build up an entire army when I am ready to start upgrading. Go ahead and build an entire army and show me attacking somebody. Like, for real attacking. Because, I mean, I do decimate and get 3 stars normally whenever I do fight. I normally use, I think, 9 Cavalier and the rest of them are shooters. Except for the 2 Gate Crashers that I normally use. Because I've always keep the 2 Wall Breakers. Like, no matter what. The healers are kind of just for my thieves. That way, if I'm running into an issue where somebody has, like, a lot of gun turrets nearby, and I don't want to have to, like, I'm just going to throw out, like, 40 thieves and just take it all at once, then I'll throw a healer out with them. So that as they're running, the healer can keep them going just long enough to take out all the base. And the reason why I have 2 of them is because it takes so long to build. That I don't want to wait for a second healer to come up. So I just keep one in reserve. I never really spend all my units anymore. But yeah.
Right.
Did you have any other questions?
So what?
Did you have any other questions?
No, that was it.
Alright. Well, I'm gonna end this live stream then. And then I gotta take care of 1 or 2 things, and then I'm gonna be going to bed.
Yeah, same.
Alright, well, anybody that watches this, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think.